Ian,
Yes, sir.
we have not really spoken about this topic before. I think
So I've wanted to talk about it. We haven't. It's been brought up. It's been suggested. But now I'm a person who likes to just wait a little bit and see where something falls.
You wanted to marinate the topic.
Especially, this isn't, we're going to get here, but this isn't like a, I guess like a Coleco Chameleon thing where we know it's a problem right off the bat, because this company that we're about to talk about,
this is, okay,
Watermelon Games, we're about to talk about Paprium. They did release a project, a game in the past, and they did see it through to completion. Pure Solar. Now, Pure Solar was not without its problems, not without its massive delays.
But it came out.
So even though when this was first brought to my attention, I think it was last summer or something like that, I was like, okay, this is definitely a problem. They're definitely not handling this well, but let's see what happens. So we're going to talk about that. So Paprium was supposed to be a massive beat 'em up for the Sega Genesis.
Streets of Rage style.
Exactly. Supposed to be huge. Going to have save slots. They like to tout the fact that it was going to have save slots.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. Oh, you should go.
Save slots? Okay.
Yeah. Go to the Paprium homepage.
They had this huge marketing video when they took pre-orders, like slickly done. They got this buff Asian fighter dude. It looks like a 90s commercial. It's a fantastic promo video, and it shows what we think might be the game being played.
Yeah, but
here
probably not really. So they're immediately they announced it, and they're touting all sorts of things for it. It's going to be size shock. This is right off the website. Nothing too grand for the Ultimate Mega Drive Genesis game. Size shock, 80 meg, 24 levels, 5 playable characters.
Speed shock.
Uncompromised, 60 frames per second, advanced 16-bit visuals.
And when you see the trailer, I mean, they have like fire extinguishers, and they're freezing up the enemies. There's 6 guys on the screen at once. This looks like an incredibly ambitious beat 'em up. The characters are big. Sound shock. What's the sound shock?
24 channels, FM synthesis, PSG, and DT128M16VA1LT, whatever that means.
Can you beat them all? The characters are sized like how they are like in Eternal Champions. These are like big guys.
Yeah, they're huge
on the screen. Something that you've not seen like. Usually in beat 'em up in Genesis games, the guys are not huge like that.
No details been compromised. 1 or 2 simultaneous player gameplay, multiple game modes, 3 save slots for an unseen before brawler size.
That guy's ripped, by the way. That guy with the mohawk, he's fucking ripped.
He's huge.
So Watermelon Game. This got 315,000 views. This video.
Yep. And
this was March of 2017. So 2 years ago, and then they started taking pre-orders.
Well, the game was originally announced in August 2013.
Oh, okay.
With a dev time of 17 months.
So that would have put it out in 2015 somewhere.
I'm looking at a timeline here that I am borrowing, thankfully, thank you, from Paprium Fiasco, .files.wordpress.com.
So it's a website that's chronicling this project as it's gone through.
In July of 2013, they are looking for a pixel artist. In October of 2013, Dat and Semi, it's a domain name. Huh?
You think you'd have a pixel artist on board before you have your schedule set for the game, since that's one of the most important things when you're doing a game like this.
Domain is registered by Gwenelle God. January 2014, images. February, music is done. August, beta testing soon. That's what they're saying in 2014. March 2015, there's a T-Time, I don't know what that is, T-Time 5 gameplay video. August 2016, Air France loses kits twice in a week. Apparently, the game was 95% complete. That's what they said.
What do you mean they lost a kit?
In August 2016, they say that Air France loses some kits twice in a week.
But what does that mean? They had no backups of what the game? No.
I have no idea.
No, I don't buy that.
The game was 95% complete.
Okay.
Yeah, Pat, it was. March 2017, trailer and name reveal. So that
was the trailer I just referenced with the buff Asian guy.
And the official release date was going to be 9/16/2017. That didn't happen. At the end of September, it appears that the PayPal funds are blocked.
They're blocked.
And then they start, and so it's not mentioned entirely here, but then they start talking about how they're going to be using a custom chip, and they need a custom chip. And
Okay.
In October 2018, they state that there are problems with the custom chips. So, there was no ETA given for 59 months of its development in between about August 13th and February 17th. There was no ETA.
February 2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
There have been
It's almost 4 years.
55 months worth, according to Paprium Fiasco. 55 months worth of dead air. No updates, no nothing.
Meanwhile, they've taken tons of money for pre-orders off the
Yes.
website. We don't know how much though. That won't be public, right? We have no idea. How many pre-orders.
I don't believe we know, no.
Because it wasn't a Kickstarter or Indiegogo. It was just off the website.
And now, and I'm skipping something, but I'll get there. And,
By the way, there's also a giant thread on Sega16.com.
and now they're not issuing refunds. So let's talk about the big head of this, though. The big point, or let's talk about the peak of this nonsense. We're going to talk about in November when there was a quote unquote launch party.
By the way, the thread, this is rivaling like Click a Chameleon on Target. The thread on Sega-16.com, Ian, it's 9,000 posts long.
Wow.
606 pages. If you want to see this chronicled with some funny GIFs along the way.
So
Yes, GIFs.
they were supposed to in November do a launch party essentially, and they were going to show a nearly complete build of the game, and this was supposed to be in November, and the game was supposed to actually start shipping by the end of December 2018, which we've all heard.
Sure.
We've heard that many times. But when the people got there, when the backers got there for the party, this is what they saw.
So they advertised this as being a launch party. The game will be shown.
Yep. Game will be
Okay.
shown. Basically complete is what people were expecting. This is what they actually got. They got a game that was glitchy. A game that had no music. A game, at this point, if you can even call it that had no enemies.
No music. The trailer had music.
No music, no enemies. Oh, maybe that's because that was a mock-up that wasn't real.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So, no enemies, no music. Game is glitchy as fuck. I don't know what could even be glitchy at that point. A person walking around a background throwing punches.
Okay, well, the party was to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Genesis. That was the party.
Okay.
And the impending launch of Paprium,
Yep.
which is an awful name for a beat 'em up, by the way. It's probably because these guys are from Europe. I don't know. That's just a terrible name for a beat 'em up.
So, and then the game PCB had wires and shit coming out of it. So it was obviously an early
mocked up
stage, hacked together, prototype. Like a prototype, an alpha build.
So they load this up. There's a scrolling story, as you see it like in a game from back then. The cartridge looks like a bomb. There's just a board and wires coming everywhere from it. There's a little intro. There's a little title screen that looks pretty cool. The intro screen looks cool. That's done.
Good.
That's done. They got that far. There's different files, I guess, to save your own guy, I guess. By the way, it's supposed to be 24 levels and 5 characters, something like that.
That's insane.
Very ambitious for 24 levels for any beat 'em up.
Any brawler.
That's a lot.
I don't even
That's
know
like
that
double the
I don't
amount.
know that I would want to play a brawler that had 24
That's
levels.
a 2.5 hour brawler. That sounds like that's a lot of brawling.
Fucking Final Fight had it right.
Final Fight's the best.
5 stages.
5 or
done.
6 stages, right?
Yeah.
That's what they had.
So these are some of the. So
You see the characters, but yeah, you go to a screen. It looks like a meat locker, and it's a guy doing elbow drops with meat spinning in the background. He's throwing punches. So the game works. He picks up the fire extinguisher or whatever that's supposed to be. Yep, no enemies.
no enemies, no music, but the music's been done. Don't forget that.
Oh, there's a second character on the screen now, but she's standing still. So I guess that's another player. You're beating up the female character with a nightstick.
Yeah, that's another player.
Okay.
So, this after the outrage.
Okay.
This was Watermelon Games' excuse. We used a very old demo Because we did not want to spoil the game for anyone.
Oh, eat me. Really?
Yeah. That's what they said.
You couldn't just show off one level. Oh, there's a woman tied up against the meat and she gets punched. Okay. So they have less than a level done.
Yes.
It seems like.
Right.
That's all we've seen. And they're joking and clapping in this. And you're still saying there's people here that, why is anyone smiling watching this? I would be like, what the fuck have you guys been doing?
Because, I mean, it's one of those things where you
want anything.
You've bought into it so hard. Yeah. You've got to be that true believer. And there are people who are the true believers in Paprium. They think it's going to come out. Some of the excuses are like
Star Citizen at this point.
You know, oh, the PCB was broken, or no, the console was broken. No, it was an old demo to avoid spoiling the game. You know, it'll be fixable this year. I can't be, whatever. So now it's being said that it's coming out this December.
6 years later.
December 2019. More than if it had
7 years.
Yeah, it would have been 6.5 years if it actually shipped at the end of October.
But more importantly, almost 3 years as they started taking pre-orders.
Yes.
3 years. Holy shit. Well, the level looks cool. I will give them that.
I have no idea why. I don't know why you're trying to say.
I'm just telling you, the level looks cool, but it's not a game. It's a proof of concept they showed off.
This is a tech demo. This is a fancy tech demo.
No, well, not even tech demo, because they're not even showing how the game would actually function.
Yeah, true.
It's really just a demo. There's a floating head in that stage. So they have a couple of stages mocked up. It looks like a subway or a mall. There's a soda machine. So not that no work's not been done. Work's been done, but not a lot of work to get to a point where they should be. Obviously,
right?
Because it looks like at this point they haven't figured out, I guess, with the tech, how do you make these huge ass sprites fight 7 on a screen at one time?
Right, and if the
Genesis can even do that,
if the cartridge is showing up at a, this party and it's got wires and everything coming out of it, that means they don't have it running on actual hardware.
Yes.
So they don't even know how to actually do this on a Genesis cartridge yet.
Yes, correct. So this is in trouble. Obviously, this is in big trouble.
Yep. So yeah, it's wild.
Why don't you work within the confines of the system? If not, you could have made this game and just released it on Steam. You could have made any beat 'em up you want and just put it on Steam, and people would have been happy. Just because it's not playing on a fucking Genesis console, you could have said this is spiritually a Streets of Rage 4 or whatever, or 5, where we're at.
Well,
the 4's coming out. That's right.
They made their name. The only thing they made their name on was Pure Solar, which was a Genesis game. They were supposed to be known as the Genesis homebrew people, and
one game got you there, I guess, but now
one hit, and that's it. So
yikes.
I have no idea how long it took Pure Solar, but I don't think it was nearly as long as this.
Not that connected to something we know a little about, the Click of Chameleon, but this is the danger of when you actually get the money for something. It's actually worse, and then you try to put it out and you can't. That's the danger of some of these projects. Hey, we're going to see it in a few months with the Atari VCS. It's set to come out in the summer.
Right.
We're going to see what the hell they actually put out after getting millions of dollars, what actually comes out. It's one thing to have all dreams, but then can you actually produce? And right now, it looks like the good old folks at, what the hell is this called? Watermelon Games?
Yeah. This is running longer than Pure Solar did. Pure Solar, however they want to pronounce it. Pure Solar began development in June 8th, 2004, and was finally released on, where is it? For the Genesis version, December 20th, 2010.
Okay.
So this has gone even longer, and they're showing even less.
I would say 4-to-1 odds as this comes out. I think they're going to figure out this chip thing if they haven't so far.
I feel like
that's what's holding them back.
I feel like if legally they don't have to start getting rid of all these funds, and do refunds, I feel like we will get something at some point.
It's just disappointing.
But it's not going to even resemble that.
The guys will be this big on the screen. They'll be tiny.
Yeah. And if it comes out, awesome, neat. But I mean, this is just ridiculous.
What do you think they have, like 1,000 pre-orders at least? 2,000? How big is the Genesis?
I would say
market?
Probably at least 1,000.
Okay.
I think 1,000 to maybe 2,000, just because
in that range, because there's a lot of people saw this.
A lot of people saw it, and this is the issue, because they finally shipped Pure Solar, I think people were like, oh, okay, we can trust them now, forgetting that it took them 6 years to ship pure solar.
Sure.